Walter Beckett is an odd sort of scientist for unnamed government agency. He spends most of his time trying to develop non-lethal ways for spies to take down their targets. However, the agency's top spy, Lance Sterling, has been accused of stealing an experimental assassin drone, and he has no other choice but to turn to Walter upon hearing of the young scientist's new bio-enhanced stealth formula system. Unfortunately, said formula has resulted in Lance Sterling being turned into a pigeon. Now he and Walter are forced to work together to clear Lance's name and restore him to human form. This is Spies in Disguise. So, yeah, boy. This movie does take some very unique angles. Like, I do like the idea. The background with Walter is his mother was a police officer who was killed in the line of duty. And kind of ever since then, he's been trying to work on developing non-violent means to resolve, obviously, violent situations. First and foremost, he develops a kitty glitter bomb, where the bomb explodes, it says glitter, and then it's accompanied by a cute kitten video. And it exists just long enough to endorse, basically to lull people into going, "Aww," and then that will allow the spies to escape. And stuff like that, whereas Lance Sterling is very much an action first, jump into the fray, beat everyone up, and that's how that turns out. And so yeah, and Lance is then, basically Lance is sent to retrieve this stolen drone. But then there's footage of him selling it. But Lance says, no, I encountered this guy with a robot hand, and maybe he's done something to make it look like it's my face. And it's true that that's what the villain does. The villain is not named at all. Like, I think he's named Killian. I mean, that's what the credits call him, but he's never referred to it as that. And he does have a past with Lance Sterling, but it's really not important, unfortunately. And that is kind of the big flaw with this film, is that it is painfully dull. You have Rashida Jones as an internal affairs agent who's after Lance Sterling. You have Lance as, the spy turned pigeon. You have Walter as, the good-hearted but kind of naive kid. And the idea is, again, Walter's a science whiz. He graduated from MIT at the age of 15. So he's only like 18 or 19, maybe even 20 years old. He's not really, he's still kind of young. He's still a little naive in the ways of the world, and like I said, he still wants to resolve things basically non-lethally. I mean, I say non-violent, it's really non-lethal. Like, there's still some violence involved. I mean, he invents a pen that has like 4 different weapons in once, but it's all like stun-based weapons and truth serum gases, and another one that's like it basically like renders, it's sort of a paralytic thing. And there's a freeze ray in it as well. And so you get a lot of that. And then obviously there's jokes in them when the pigeon thing comes in. And I guess that's the big thing. This is one of those movies where they put all the jokes in the trailer. So yeah, if you've seen the movie, you've seen the funny bits. And so when the funny bits happen, they're not always that funny. There's a couple of ones that are a little bit better than that. But there's a lot of weird casting decisions in this too. Like, DJ Khaled is the voice of one of the spies. Karen Gillan is the voice of one of the spies. But they're so minor, and their lines are literally just throwaway. They don't really contribute much to anything. Reba McEntire is the agency director. Like, that's fine. I mean, the animation is pretty decent too. And like I said, I like the idea of working the angle of violence solutions versus non-violent solutions, and trying to find better ways. In fact, I'll pretty much spoil what the villain's backstory is. The backstory of the villain is he had an encounter with Lance Sterling, and Lance Sterling killed a bunch of innocent people in the villain's home country. So, yeah. Yeah, because he kept throwing grenades and setting off explosives and shooting guns. It's like, yeah, you were hurting people. Like, yeah, you were working to take down me, but that doesn't give you the right to shoot people who had nothing to do with me. And it's kind of a collateral damage idea. And that's what Sterling needs to kind of shape back up into. And I realize, like, maybe sometimes the non-violent solution is actually the better way. But, yeah, unfortunately, it's really not explained very... I mean, like I said, there's a lot of cliches. Like, in the beginning, like I said, we see the mother, and we see her, playing around like she's a police officer, and even at that point, Walter's actually trying to invent non-violent weapons and stuff like that, basically. And, you know, that it immediately kind of says, your weapon, I'm sure your gadgets are someday going to change the world, or save the world, or something like that. And then we immediately cut to the future, or, well, the present. It's like 14 years later, I think. I have it right here. Jump 14 years, yeah. Yeah, we then cut 14 years later, and you know, it's not revealed until later that his mother's killed, but you still get kind of the idea of, oh, yeah, right when that's happening, you see him interact with the mother, like, okay, yeah, they're clearly going to kill her off. I was just kind of surprised we then didn't cut to him standing at the funeral. I mean, I honestly was that surprised. Like I said, it's just really kind of painful and dull because, again, all the jokes are in the trailer, so the stuff that's in there just really doesn't add much of anything to it. And yeah, it's just, unfortunately, yeah, like, animation's good. Some of the performances are decent, but again, they don't really add anything. Like, there's the female internal affairs agent voiced by Rashida Jones, and she just, it's like her it's like, it's sort of implied that it's like there's sort of a love thing going on between her and Sterling, but yeah, exactly, nothing ever, there's no way there's nothing that ever really comes of it at all. So, yeah, there's kind of an interesting, some interesting bits with Sterling when he's in his pigeon form, and because the way, because he turns into a pigeon because Walter has a pet pigeon who's a female, and the female falls in love with him, and then he gets a flock while they're in Mexico. Like, these two other pigeons come along, like, one's just this really kind of scrangly, mangy bird who eats just everything, and this other one's this really assertive bird who just keeps slapping him around, and the one who slaps him around is named Jeff. So again, like, that's sort of an interesting idea, but it's like, because Walter's just constantly there, it still doesn't really work. So, yeah, like I said, this movie is not really worth much of anything at all. I mean, it's a perfect way to end out the year. I mean, this thing was supposed to come out in August. It got delayed till the week after a Star Wars film came out. So, yeah, you could tell how much faith the studio had in this. I am going to be giving Spies in Disguise an F.
Spytech, case 109. A stranger is on your block. With your Spytech rear view glasses, you've got him in sight. You leave a message in code. Your partner uses his Spytech watch to decode it.
He's at the movies. Where'd he go?
This'll find him.
You placed a trap. Use the Spytech invisible detection kit to follow his footprints.
Cancel the plan. They have Spytech.
Spytech, high-tech equipment that works. New from Tyco.
Okay, trailer time, and we actually did have a few new ones. Not many, but we did get a lot of trailers too. So, first things off is I Still Believe. This is another faith-based movie about a singer-songwriter whose girlfriend/fiance gets diagnosed with some disease, I don't know what, and I don't know if she dies or not, but yeah, it's basically how he still stands by her and even marries her, even though, yeah, they don't know if she's ever going to make it. Yeah. Then we had Peter Rabbit 2 again, My Spy again, Doolittle again, Sonic the Hedgehog again, Scoob again, and then we closed out on 2 new trailers. Artemis Fowl, another movie that's been massively delayed a whole bunch of times, so don't know exactly if it's necessarily good or not. I have not read any of the Artemis Fowl novels, so I can't say for 100% certain. And then Call of the Wild. Yeah. Definitely looks kind of strange. Like, they do realize the original Call of the Wild is not really a family story, don't they? I mean, they're marketing this like kind of a goofy family comedy, like other movies with person and dog I can't think of right now. But yeah, exactly. It's like, you do realize it's more like a character study and about the primal nature of certain creatures and everything like that. It's not really a fun movie, a fun story in the strict. Then again, it's been a long time since I've really followed Call of the Wild that much, so do kind of bear with me a bit on that. Anyway, that's all for trailers. This is the last movie for 2019. I'm going to try to do a best worst list, but it might not come out until after I review a movie for 2020. So I'll try to see if I can squeeze one in sometime before that, but it might not be there quite yet because I'm still trying to formulate everything. But next video after this is going to be the random trade review on Flash, Blood Will Run. The first movie of 2020 is going to be The Grudge. So you have that to look forward to. See you all next time. Hey guys, check out my Patreon and see how you can request a movie for me to review, even if it's some stinker like A Dog's Way Home or the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Also, if you like what you see, give the video a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell.